Well, President Park put great emphasis on diplomacy this year and made extra efforts to better ties with North Korea as well. In other words, some of the busiest government ministries in 2015, the Foreign Affairs Ministry and the Unification Ministry. The Unification Ministry, which of course deals with North Korea affairs. Our very own news center correspondents Kwon and Connie are in the studio with me. Good evening to my favorite correspondents.
Good evening. Hi, Conn-young.
Hello. So you have reports for me, right?
Yes, and I'm going to start. And Conn-young, can you guess 56? Can you guess what this number represents?
56. I don't know, Connie, 56.
I don't know. I can't make a guess.
Well, that's actually the days President Park has spent outside the country. So that is quite a lot. But Connie, can you guess how many days Foreign Minister Yun Byung-se traveled around?
Well, I can't say for sure, but since you're asking, I'm guessing a lot.
Absolutely, and it's 120 days. That's 10 more days than 2014, and that's like 4 months out of the whole year. And in terms of distance, he traveled the equivalent of 9 times around the globe. So
wow,
that is a lot. And recently, Minister Yun appeared on a live debate with South Korean broadcasting journalists, wrapping up this year's diplomatic efforts. And he took out this map here that I have, and he said that diplomacy used to revolve just around the Korean Peninsula and Northeast Asia, so here in the middle, but he emphasized that it's spreading to much more corners around the world. So no wonder he had 165 talks with his counterparts across the globe. Now, Yun said that 2015 was especially a good one in terms of relations with the U.S., Korea's closest ally, as U.S. President Barack Obama, Secretary of State John Kerry, and U.S. Ambassador Mark Lippert said, despite the incident when this incident where a man had raised a blade and stabbed Mark Lippert in his face.
Right.
Despite that, of course, I wanted to say that all of the three mentioned that ties with South Korea have never been stronger. And especially as the two countries signed a new civil nuclear treaty, replacing one that was in place for more than 4 decades.
Right, and just to make note, that wasn't enough to, I guess, make Mark Lippert love Korea less, because his spirit for Korea has never been so strong.
Exactly.
Not to say opened up, but you say about the nuclear agreement that definitely gave South Korea more room to develop, develop its peaceful nuclear developments, right?
Right, Connie, exactly.
Right. What about other relationships?
Well, we can't, of course, not miss out the ties with Korea and its Northeast Asian neighbors, and especially the recent landmark settlement between Seoul and Tokyo on one of their thorniest issues on the apology and compensation of Japan's sexual enslavement of Korean women before and during World War II is probably one of the most memorable events this year. Also significant as the two countries commemorated 50 years of diplomatic ties this year. Now, when it comes to China, there's been great news on the economic front, with a bilateral FTA taking into effect on December 20th.
And based on these agreements, we anticipate stronger relations with our neighboring countries going forward.
Yes, Conn-young. And speaking of looking forward, Korea is expected to lift up its position in the global arena a notch. So when we take a look at the table here, South Korea will be chairing the International Atomic Energy Agency Security Conference next year. It'll also be leading 3 UNESCO committees and take leading roles in climate change too. And Korean diplomat will be the chair for the UN Human Rights Council, of course crucial for us as it deals with North Korean human rights violations.
Right. North Korea, speaking of which, there is never a shortage of topics or issues to talk about when talking about North Korea, which is right where Connie jumps in. Now, 2015 was definitely a year full of inter-Korean issues, inter-Korean matters.